Tesla's numbers are in now. Their deliveries, well, they were a fair way off what I predicted. I went for 270 to 275,000. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get there, thanks to obviously mostly COVID lockdowns, which impacted production coming from China. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Hope you've had an amazing week. It's the weekend here right now. It is 7:45 a.m. on Sunday morning. Been here since 2 a.m. So, all in the name of the good cause, right? Well, Tesla's Q2 2022 results are in. Record production month in the face of supply chain and Shanghai shutdown, which, let's be honest, even though I am a little disappointed they didn't quite get to where I hoped they would and where I thought they might, that's still a pretty good result. Tesla announced this morning it delivered 254,700 vehicles in 2022's second quarter, falling just below consensus estimates of 256,700 from the street, which they usually beat the street, and 263,000 from FactSet. Tesla produced 268,580 vehicles in the first quarter. So they produced 2,000 more than they delivered. So they nearly delivered all the cars that they produced. In the second quarter, we produced over 258,000 vehicles and delivered over 254,000, despite ongoing supply chain challenges and factory shutdowns beyond our control. June 2022 was the highest vehicle production month in Tesla's history. So that's probably worth considering. They pointed out that June 2022 was Tesla's highest production month in Tesla's history. That's where things are going the rest of this year. That's why personally I bought more shares 2 days ago, because I strongly believe the share price will bounce back. A lot of sentiment is negative around Tesla right now, but I think it's mostly due to headlines which are more, not so much about what Tesla's actually doing, but more about like sensational news headlines that have kind of, to do with, for example, Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter. I think the emotion from that will die down eventually. Those sort of people have got their panties in a knot and they're getting all worked up over that. They'll forget about it and they'll move on eventually. And the good news this year, for the rest of the year, will be production will ramp up at China. Well, that's more important probably than anything, because they're going to go from 15,000 per week to 22,500 per week by the 7th of August. That's huge, because that's an extra 7,500 cars per week, right? I mean, we're only seeing what they're saying right now, that Texas is at 2,000 per week, Germany at 1,000 per week. So, even if those guys ramp up, China's probably going to ramp up more than both of them combined. Now, Tesla battled severely disadvantageous market conditions to still recover and deliver what was a pretty good quarter. In April, Tesla's Chinese production plant, Gigafactory Shanghai, was shut down for 3 weeks due to COVID-19 outbreak in the region. And they returned to full strength in May after reopening. But, during that period of time, what's not being mentioned is for other weeks around that period of time, not just that time where it was fully locked down, but for other weeks after that, Tesla was in a closed loop system where they could only do 1 shift rather than 3. People were sleeping in the factory. They were living in the factory. It was a totally different scenario. Production was probably at 30, maybe 40% of normal for those. I think it was about 3 weeks as well. So you're looking at 6 weeks of impact that's happened. Now, the good news is, I just reported electric car sales today, right? What they are, the video actually will come out within about 24 hours. I just reported electric car sales from the month of June for all the manufacturers in China, not Tesla, for all the other manufacturers. And wow, they have come roaring back. They set a record high, and I mean, it's quite a record high. It's quite a bit better than what we saw in the previous record, which was December of last year, where numbers were through the roof. The thing is, right, the fact that they beat that record high now, what does that mean? Well, middle of the year normally for China's vehicle sales are not that great. November and December are usually around 40% higher than the middle of the year. In other words, the Chinese electric car market has come screaming back. And for some reason, things are just absolutely firing there. I imagine the same will happen for Tesla. Now, in April, Tesla was crushed. The rest of this year, it's going to be a different story. Tesla also recovered thanks to a spirited effort at Fremont and Berlin. The Northern California plant recorded its highest production figures in early June, setting a record for units built in a week. No one's really mentioned that. Additionally, Gigafactory Berlin in Germany managed to reach 1,000 units per week for the first time in its short production history. And like I said before, apparently Texas is at between 2,000 to 5,000. Some insiders are saying 5,000. I don't know if that's true, but it looks like 2,000 is the base worst case scenario that they're at right now. In terms of Tesla's yearly production figures, it is still easily on pace to deliver more than 1 million electric cars for the first time in history for any company ever, especially for themselves. They delivered 936,000 vehicles last year. With Gigafactory Texas and Gigafactory Berlin ramping production quickly and Shanghai back to full strength, plus obviously Shanghai ramping up and aiming for 22,500 per week after the 7th of August this year, Tesla's going to look forward to a massive Q3, but a much, much bigger Q4. I think Q4 could be around 500,000. Plus, what does that mean? Momentum, rebound, sentiment's going to change. Stock price, I see it going up. Now, Q2 2022 marks the first time in 10 quarters that Tesla was not able to increase deliveries. The first time in 10 quarters that they weren't able to increase deliveries. That's crazy. So, we're going to see what happens by the end of this year. Will BYD be able to catch up to Tesla? It's possible, but not in purely electric vehicle sales. If we're going to include plug-in hybrids, yeah, it's possible. Purely EVs though, Tesla will still be by far the world's largest manufacturer of electric cars, and it won't be close. There won't be any catching up from Volkswagen or anyone else. Now, don't get me wrong, that would actually be a good thing, because that's not going to change Tesla's position. It's just going to mean that Volkswagen is going to be making more EVs. It's going to mean that GM and Ford are making more EVs. That's good. We want that. Please, GM, Ford, Volkswagen, all you other guys, look at what's going on in China. Get a move on. You need to, because they're eating your lunch and they're going to eat all of it if they can. Now, let me know in the comments section below. What do you think about these delivery numbers? Are you disappointed, surprised? Are these the sort of numbers you expected? Keen to hear your thoughts. As always, though, have a great weekend. If this is Sunday for you, have an awesome day. If it's Saturday for you, have an awesome day. Make the best of it. You're never going to get this weekend again. So make the best of it. Get outside, ride your bike, go for a run, do something with your family. Just have an awesome day. And remember, we live in an amazing place. The world is amazing. The news media, they just want to keep telling you that everything's going to hell in a handcart. It's not. It's actually getting better all the time. This is just part of that positive story. Keep up the positive news. Let your friends know positive news. If they want to criticize Tesla, if they want to criticize electric cars, if they want to say that they're terrible, just tell them, you know what? The world's getting better every day, and we're part of it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.